were gearing up to act as the defending forces. During pre-flight briefing, the Scampton meteorological officer advised us that the cold air mass settled over Europe should provide sunny weather and good visibility throughout the day. Contrary to what you might think, this was bad news for us, as the combination of sun and cold air would give rise to a fair amount of overland convection, thus guaranteeing us a rather bumpy ride during our low-level penetration to the target. The excellent visibility and lack of cloud would also simplify the air defender's task. We got airborne just before noon and set course on an easterly heading across the North Sea, whilst climbing to our cruising altitude of 43,000 feet. During the climb, I closed down the Auxiliary Airborne Power Plant, AEOp, and connected the No. 4 alternator to the synchronizing bus bar as per Standard Operating Procedure, SOP. When we reached our cruising altitude, the captain eased back the throttles of our 4 Olympus 201 engines to their cruise power setting. This provided the Vulcan with sufficient power to maintain a cruising speed around Mach 0.84, 84% of the speed of sound. Upon reaching the Dutch coast, we turned onto a southerly heading, taking us across Belgium and northern France, a leg of the sortie clearly designed by the masochistic exercise planners to serve us up as lambs to be slaughtered by NATO fighters waiting on Quick Reaction Alert, QRA, at their bases in Europe, or already orbiting impatiently on their combat air patrols, CAP. It wasn't long before my radar warning receiver, RWR display, flashed a warning strobe indicating that we were being illuminated by a sector-scanning I-band radar from somewhere in our 7 o'clock position. I transmitted a few sweeps on my red steer rearward-looking radar and noticed a contact slightly below us at a range of about 5 miles in closing. The RWR indicated that the contact was gradually moving around towards our 6 o'clock position, and that the pilot had changed the operating mode of his radar from its sector-scanning search mode to the high-threat locked-on mode. Taking a quick look through my rearwards-looking periscope, I saw that it was an F-15 Eagle, almost certainly from the United States Air Force Europe, USAF base at Bitburg in Germany. As the F-15 closed in on our tail, I knew that the American pilot would be maneuvering his fighter to align our Vulcan with the weapon aiming symbol on his heads-up display, HUD. Then, upon hearing the locked-on tone from his Sidewinder missile, would press the button that, for real, would have launched the missile to bring about an explosive end to our flight. Thankfully, being an exercise, there was no missile launch and no sudden end to our flight, and we continued on our planned route unharmed. The F-15 pilot, having completed his simulated attack, banked sharply and dived away to the east. A short while later, we were attacked again, this time by a French Air Force Mirage F-1. Like the pilot in the F-15, the Mirage pilot closed to about 1,000 yards in our 6 o'clock position, and executed what I guess was a simulated missile launch. He then edged in closer to within 100 yards or less for what, I assumed, was a practice gunshot. Whilst keeping the captain and crew informed of our double execution, there was little I could do to defend our aircraft, as any serious attempt at evasive maneuvering would have caused us to deviate significantly from our authorized course, heading, and altitude. Besides, maneuvering on its own was unlikely to prevent us from being shot down by the fighters. Energetic maneuvering, combined with the use of chaff, infrared, IR, countermeasures, flares, and radar jamming, on the other hand, would certainly have given us a fighting chance, or at least it would have seriously complicated things for the fighter pilot. Unfortunately, the use of chaff and IR countermeasures was strictly forbidden over mainland Europe. Also, as Scampton-based Vulcans were not equipped with I-band jamming equipment, there was nothing I could do in terms of active electronic countermeasures.